forecast first.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Matt Peterson here with your forecast first. It is already a warm end to our morning and start to the afternoon. Temperatures are in the 80s, 84 in Yankton right now, 81 in the metro, 80 degrees for us in Cherokee. We'll get a look at the dew points because they're on the higher side, too. It's a little bit sticky and muggy for us on this Friday, 67 right now, the dew point in Sioux City. So, again, definitely a humid start to the afternoon. Could look for a few thunderstorms to develop later on today as well. 93 degrees for the high temperature. Could another risk of severe weather be happening over the weekend? It looks that way. I'll give you all the details coming up. ABC9 News Midday starts now.
Now, live from KCAU TV in Sioux City, Iowa, this is ABC9 News Midday.
It was earlier than expected, but the Big Sioux River did crest at 105.63 feet at 1 o'clock this morning. That's more than 3 feet below the original prediction of 109 feet. Good morning and thanks for joining us this midday. I'm Jessica Ray. It's a sign of relief for many Siouxlanders. After days of sandbagging and preparation, the worst is said to be over. So how are the folks holding up in McCook Lake? Jessica Sahachik is live at McCook Lake with an update on how folks are doing there. Hey Jess, how's it going out there?
Hey Jesse, I'm back out here at McCook Lake again today, currently right alongside the interstate, which is not reopened just yet, but is expected to be here soon just before exit 2. As you can see behind me, crews are already hard at it, tearing down the berm, most of which is already down, that they put in place yesterday as a precaution. It's not needed, there is no water, and that is something that's spelling out a whole lot of relief for the folks just off exit 4. Now the folks in McCook Lake are hard at it again today. They're actually not laying sandbags this time around. They're picking them up and hauling them away. Many of them say the quicker they get it done, the quicker they can actually enjoy their weekend. A weekend they thought they were never actually going to get. But yesterday, was it all for nothing? Many of the people living along North Shore Drive are saying, oh, it was for something all right. Their peace of mind.
It was just a total relief. It's like, okay, we can quit worrying now. There was quite a bit of work involved, but there was not near as much as the last flood. Not near as much as, but it's scary. It's a scary thing because you don't know what's going to happen.
So yeah, no water here in McCook Lake. That's the good news. The National Guard has already taken off, and because there is such peace of mind here this morning, they say they're leaving mission accomplished. Jess, cannot reiterate again enough how relieved these folks are here in McCook Lake. I mean, we're talking about nearly a 3-foot difference in actual cresting estimates, and that's huge. And again, it's something the people in McCook Lake are totally okay with. You bet I'll be back at 5 and 6 with much more on one very happy Friday for all of the folks in McCook Lake. Jess, back on over to you.
All right, thanks for that update, Jessica. Glad those residents are relieved. So this morning's crest is actually the new 3rd highest record for the Big Sioux River. The record is 108.3 feet, which was set back in April of 1969. The 2nd highest was at 106.8 feet, set back in April of 1960. And to compare this to the flood of 2011, the Big Sioux reached 102 feet. The Big Sioux River had already dropped more than a foot by 8:30 this morning to 104.6 feet. That decline is expected to remain steady, so some good news there. Thankfully, water did not end up going over the interstate. I-29 North was closed yesterday, starting from mile marker 4 or exit 2 to mile marker 26, which is near Vermilion. This is video of crews working yesterday to build the berm over both lanes of the interstate. They're now working to clear off all of that. Officials in Union County have confirmed Interstate 29 will reopen sometime this afternoon. We'll keep you updated on when that might be. But the waters rising near Jefferson, South Dakota did already claim some property. Now, these homes on the edge of town were mostly surrounded by water from the Big Sioux. Last night, floodwaters were also taking over rural Union County, where water was completely gushing over Highway 6. Crews from Campbell Grading worked all day yesterday to build a 3-foot high berm around the north side of town. Now, if you're looking for a place to drop off all of those sandbags, officials with Union County Emergency Management will be taking in used sandbags at 2 sites tomorrow. You can take them to the old North Sioux City Way Station in North Sioux City or to the sandbagging site at 704 East Rose Street in Elk Point. That's across from Lode King. Crews will be there taking both sandbags and plastic for proper disposal. We have posted all of this information on our website. That's SiouxlandMatters.com. We also have some developing news out of Norfolk this morning. A body has been found in the North Fork River just after 9 o'clock this morning. Norfolk police are asking motorists and others to stay away from the area of North 1st Street and Brosh Avenue. Norfolk Fire and Rescue were called to the scene to retrieve the body. Paul Hughes with WJAG was on the scene. He joins us now on the phone. Paul, what is the latest on this situation?
Well, Jessica, they have retrieved the body from the North Fork River. That's over by 1st Street and Brosh Avenue near Alco. And it was about 9 o'clock this morning, or actually about 9:19, actually. A passerby noticed what he thought was a body floating in the river. They alerted Norfolk Police, and Norfolk Police and Fire removed that body, and it is now being investigated. The police have begun this investigation. I talked to Norfolk Police Captain Mike Bauer. He says they do have some strong leads, but they do need to be tracked down, and they're not going to release anything until next of kin is notified. I did ask him if he thought foul play may have been involved, and he said the investigation is in its infancy, and he couldn't comment further at this time. But again, a body of a male, an adult male, has been retrieved from the North Fork River, and that's all of the information we have right now as Norfolk Police continue their investigation.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul, for that update. Turning from flooding to tornado relief now, some members of the Nebraska State Patrol were being diverted from Pilger to handle flood-related traffic needs in the Cornhusker State. Meanwhile, the debris from Monday's EF4 tornado in Pilger continued to be hauled away by the semi-load. Stanton County Sheriff Mike Unger says 80% of Pilger's buildings have vanished. Hundreds of volunteers, family members, and insurance adjusters are crisscrossing the village. Unger says folks from all over Siouxland are offering assistance, and others from as far away as the East Coast have offered to pitch in.
Obviously, we have all kinds of assets on ground. We're getting help from numerous Midwestern states. We're getting calls. We had one from Virginia wanting to bring 2 teams here. So we're trying to work forward. I think there's a lot of progress made today, but as you can see, as much progress has been made, there's still a lot of work to be done.
As of Wednesday, Unger says there have been no cleanup-related injuries. However, 3 volunteers were removed after showing signs of heat exhaustion. Everyone, please stay hydrated while out there working. For those looking to help out the victims of the Pilger tornado, a relief and rebuild fund has been set up through Midwest Bank. If you would like to help, you can drop off or mail your donation to any Midwest Bank location. You can also donate online. There's a link to that on our website. That's SiouxlandMatters.com. Staying on the topic of tornadoes, the National Weather Service has rated the twister that hit Cedar County, Nebraska on Tuesday night. They're saying it was an EF3 that damaged or destroyed more than 30 homes between Laurel and Coleridge. 2 businesses were also destroyed near Laurel. Now, the folks there in Coleridge are still in need of volunteers to help clean up all of that destruction. If you would like to help out, meet at the Laurel Concord School tomorrow morning at 9. You can also go to the Coleridge Community Club building after 9 a.m. Volunteers will be bused to that area that need help, and volunteers should be wearing work-ready clothing. People are also needed to help prepare meals, and food donations for workers are also being accepted. Now, if you can't make it to volunteer, there is a tornado relief fund for both Laurel and Coleridge. Monetary donations can be made at Security Bank in both Laurel and Coleridge. All right, still to come, some Nebraskans are having a hard time with their storm damage cleanup. We'll explain after your forecast.
And it looks like a few more thunderstorms are in the forecast for our Friday afternoon and maybe into the weekend as well. I'll give you all the details coming up.
You're watching ABC9 News this morning with Jessica Sahacek, Jessica Ray, and meteorologist Matt Peterson. This is ABC9 News Midday.